Yo, what's going on, guys? Welcome to another Shamshir Sound video. My name is Ali Nadem. In today's video, we're going to be showing you a sick vocal drop idea I'm working on. I'm wrapping up this song, so this is going to be the next song that I release very soon. I'm doing a mix down project because all the processing on this sick vocal drop got so CPU demanding, so that I was like, let me bounce it and kind of do some stuff afterwards. You can always do that to save you some CPU, bounce your stuff, work in a fresh project, and you have all that spare CPU, because this was the first time in a long time that I had to use the smart disable feature because I was doing so much processing on my vocals. So now that we're on the subject of vocals, I kind of approached this very randomly. Let me just give you some backstory. I was stuck on a big room project, this kind of jungle, Quintino, bubbly vibe. It just didn't have the movement that I wanted, and so it's okay to come back to an old project. That's what I did. And I was just thinking of lyrics, and I was really inspired by like the Jamaican kind of like that, pass me the ganja man, gyal on the floor, wind down, like that, like the low pitch, that sick kind of vocal. It's that hype, it's that hypey, you know what I mean? Gets the crowd hyped. And vocals are sick. Vocals are just amazing. It's great to have vocals in any track. And so I just wanted to explain my philosophy. So we were stuck on the project. I started just singing random stuff, and I came up with something kind of catchy. And with this guy, I didn't actually do the normal housekeeping that I would necessarily always do. I used to always tell myself, okay, if I record with my Blue Yeti, my microphone, I have to denoise it. I have to de-ess it. I got to do this. I got to do that. But instead, I just wanted immediate inspiration. And I'm going to show you guys the raw vocal. So I wanted immediate inspiration. So I threw on a vocoder from Isotope Vocal Synth. And it so manipulated the sound. Now, I played around with a lot of the settings carefully, sculpting it how I wanted. And I just got this really cool robotic sound. And I want to show you guys step by step what I did to make this vocal drop really big. Not only in the center, but really give it some width, give it some delay, give it some reverb, give it some space, saturate it, compress it, really make it just thick. Just kind of the second next guy to the kick. The kick hits around -3 dB, and the vocals around -6. And so those are the main focuses of this track. So let's play this back. Hopefully it doesn't lag. I apologize if it lags, if it clicks. I've maxed out my buffer, and I want to show you guys what it sounds like with the vocals and the drop.
Move your body to the boom boom bass. Move your body to the boom boom bass. Girl, and wind down, mash up the place. Move your body to the boom boom bass. Girl, and wind down, mash up the place.
All right, hope you guys like that. I'm so excited to release this project soon, and I'm going to show you guys the processing without it. Let's just play only the vocals. So let's solo the vocals, and we will show you guys one by one what was going on here. So get a nice little view there. So here are just the vocals.
Move your body to the boom boom bass. Girl, and wind down, mash up the place. Move your boom boom butt. Move your boom boom butt.
There are some support vocals by me in the background as well, but this will be the main focus. Really huge. The smart disable might be turning off the extended reverbs and delays, which is okay. But I want to show you guys here what I did, and really just show you guys that step by step. So when we listen to this raw, check this out. I think it's pitched down. No, it's not pitched down. So guys, this is the normal vocal in the mic. Check this out.
Move your body to the boom boom bass. Girl, them wind down, mash up the place. Move your boom boom butt. Boom boom. Move your boom.
Now, I started doing the vocal chops in that second part later when I finally processed the vocal, but I really liked that phrase that I had, and so I first processed it, and this vocal had a lot of weird resonating frequencies, so I did a lot of notch EQ, so that's what this took care of. I did a little high pass to clean a little bit of that subsonic frequency, but not too much, because male vocalists, especially if you have a deeper voice, you don't want to high pass your voice too much. Be careful with that. So that removes a bit of that subsonic rumble, or sometimes even mic rumble or hitting something can help with that. This notch EQ helps with the annoying frequencies.
Move your body to the boom boom bass. Move your body to the boom boom bass.
And you can see there, it helps a lot with these annoying frequencies in these ranges there. Not as audible, but they can sometimes be over exaggerated and you can hear them when you start compressing them. So that took care of some housekeeping. And then next we move on to Supercharger, one of my most favorite vocals compressor, or even on a bass line or on a lead. It's so versatile. It gives a very juicy character, especially with the parallel compression option, which here I'm doing 100% wet. I'm giving a bit of brightness. This is kind of like an EQ curve knob, like a V, giving a little bit of like low boost, a little bit of bright, or sorry, that's the bright. It's really just shaping it just towards the high end. And I have it on the slam, so it's working very fast. And just a tiny bit of mild saturation and a little bit of compression just to keep the levels in check, keep it more sausage-like, keeping it more congruent. So let's see here. This is with it off.
Move your body to the boom boom bass.
And then on.
Move your body to the boom boom bass. Girl, them wind down, mash up the place.
So just really keeps it more congruent. And really like that sound. This is really where the magic is happening. The vocal synth too.
Move your body to the boom boom bass.
So that's just sick. And I had to experiment a lot. Here I'm using a very simple thing that I made. I suggest when you use isotope vocal synth, try different stuff. I don't have it on any auto sort of thing. I have it just with a key set on C. The speed and the strength are all the way up. The mix is all the way up. However, I was listening very carefully with like the filters, the distortion. They all played a big role, because if we turn these guys off, these all play a big role, especially the width. I gave it a little bit of more width, plus 22, just to make it a bit wider. Because if we turn these guys off, there we go.
Move your body to the boom boom bass.
Just too dry, right? So I added a little bit of that distortion.
Move your body to the boom boom bass.
Added that filter.
Move your body to the boom boom bass.
Still, it's not doing too much yet. And this transform, I don't think it's doing anything. Don't believe so.
Move your body to the...
Nor is the shred. What is really doing its work here is the chorus, making it wider.
Move your body to the boom boom bass.
See how important that chorus can be on vocals? Chorus does a great job to really make it more of like that nice juicy unison, a nice width spread across in a very pleasing way. And then the delay helps to create a bit more space. And we can see the delay. The chorus is more aggressive, but the delay is a bit more conservative.
Move your body to the boom boom bass. Yeah, them white down, mash up the place. Move your boom boom butt, boom boom. Move your boom boom butt, boom.
So that's doing a great job at making it more robotic, metallic, spreading it out with more width. Because if we turn this eye off, let's listen to this.
Move your body to the boom boom bass.
Right, it's just so cheesy. And this guy just corrects the pitch, keeps it on C minor because my track is in C minor.
Move your body to the boom boom bass.
And there we have it. Next we have Camel Crusher. Camel Crusher, as you guys know, one of my favorite plugins. Here I'm using it to just keep the high end in check. It's rolling it off with that filter at the 16 kilohertz. You don't always have to use Camel Crusher, and there are situations where you might not want to use it, but try it out. I think one of the most underrated features in Camel Crusher is the compressor, because it just compresses so well. It has an auto gain feature, so all you have to do is crank up that knob, the amount knob, and find it how you like it. This gave it a bit more pump, made it more prominent in the mix. So this is with it off.
Move your body to the boom boom.
And now on.
Move your body to the boom boom bass.
Just helps it pump a bit more in the mix. And next we have Pro Q3 again. And this is helping to fix some of the low end, because you have to remember my pitch was not the right pitch. And because we're now at like a low pitch, we have also, theoretically, we've introduced a bit more low end frequency. So I did a bit more notch EQ to find some of those resonance. And you can always find those resonance by just doing something like this, a really sharp bell, and sweeping through the frequencies. I've made a video on notch EQ, but I think I'll do a more advanced video, an upgraded video. And took care of those annoying frequencies, rolled it off, but not too much, because I liked that low end, but just enough to not compete too much with the sub and the kick going on. I also found that it was a bit dark, so I added, I believe, like a dynamic EQ, boosting the high end a bit, And then there's a dynamic low shelf EQ, I believe, pumping down the low end. And you can see this in action.
Move your body to the boom boom bass. Move your body to the boom boom bass. Move your body to the boom boom bass.
So that does a good job at controlling the vocal a bit more and making sure that it's not this powerhouse that's just demolishing everything in the track. Next, I love doing this in really Soundgodizer. And I'm using Soundgodizer to pump it a lot more. Check this out without Soundgodizer.
Move your body to the boom boom bass.
And we turn on that Soundgodizer.
Move your body to the boom boom bass. Gal them wide down, mash up the place.
So that Soundgodizer makes it pump through the mix strong. The key with Soundgodizer is moderation. Put it on. And here I didn't want it to mess with the width, so I kept it on the D preset. So the D is doing a good job at retaining that width. And Soundgodizer is really just compressing that guy. And it's basically like a dumbed down version of Maximizer templates and Maximizer, presets and Maximizer. But you know, simple tools can do a great job, and if it works, use it. So I threw on that Soundgodizer, really helping a lot, and already the vocal is getting that pump. So next, I wanted to do some fine tailoring. As you guys know, I'm a big fan of this plugin, and I didn't purchase this one. It came with my Focusrite Scarlett 2i2 audio interface. But I added, it's basically a multi-band compressor that can be extremely transparent if you put it on the neutral. And you can also do parallel compression. Here, I had it on the clarity because the clarity gave a unique kind of EQ curve that was pleasant. And let's just play this without it.
Move your body to the boom boom bass.
And let's turn on the drummer.
Move your body to the boom boom bass. Gal them wide down, mash up the place.
So this one was subtle, but I liked the result. It's all about those subtleties. Sometimes it can be very subtle. Sometimes it can be more drastic. H delay, which is one of the best delays, hands down. The H delay is doing a good job at, you can see there, the wetness is only at 6, and it has a quarter note delay at the BPM, and it's just giving a little bit extra space to create a bit more of like a ping pong delay. We have the ping pong on, the lo-fi, it's creating it more low pass delay, and it's high passed also. And so this is just doing a delay that kind of gets out of the way the vocal. It's high passed, it's low passed, it's low fidelity, and it's just giving a little bit more of a delay to it, a little bit more space. We next have the Fruity Reverb, which I think I'm using the same reverb as the reverb on my lead. I wanted to keep it like the same profile. And I'm using just Fruity Reverb, giving a nice little extra wetness to it. So this is without the delay and reverb.
Move your body to the boom boom bass. Gal them wide down, mash up the place.
Let's go ahead and turn back these guys on.
Move your body to the boom boom bass. Gal them wide down, mash up the place.
So that's really making it really huge. And, you know, listening to it now, it might be a bit too much, but we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens with the mix down video, or sorry, the mix down when I'm mixing down the track, because, you know, coming back with fresh set of ears, your opinions might change. I had the L1 limiter on here just to catch, like it really wasn't ultimately necessary to put this L1, but loopers really inspired me to try putting L1 limiter on a lot of tracks to keep a ceiling, and this is really keeping it limited. It's squashing the sound and really just hammering it hard. If we listen to this with the L1.
Move your body to the boom boom bass. Gal them wide down, mash up the place. Move your boom boom boom. Move your body to the boom boom bass.
So again, this is playing a role in control, and then it's being routed to a new mixer track where it's just doing a fine little extra stuff. You can ignore Endless Smile because that's being automated in the build-up. We can also ignore this guy here, Fruity Balance. That one is doing an automation, I believe. And really, the delays are only working at select points of the track, I believe. These aren't doing anything at the moment, but they're for effect purposes. The only thing that is doing like a mixdown purpose is these guys right here. So the sausage fattener was clutch. I threw it in like near the end because I didn't have it. What I had originally was the OTT. The OTT is doing a good job. It's a multi-band upwards and downwards compressor. So this is with the OTT on.
Move your body to the boom boom bass. Yell them while down, mash up the place.
And when we turn off the OTT,
move your body to the boom boom bass. Move your body to the boom boom bass.
OTT has a really good role in just really enhancing tracks. But again, the key with it is moderation, just like Soundgoodizer. So we have the depth at 8%, we have the time at 11%, so it's acting pretty fast, and the output gain has been turned down to -0.4. After that, I added the Native Instruments and Softtube passive EQ, which all this is doing is nothing except for a low pass at 18 kilohertz. And you'd be wondering, well, Ali, why are you low passing at 18 kilohertz? But trust me, it's not low passing right at 18 kilohertz like a brick wall line. All it's doing is kind of a roll off that is very pleasing. So check this out.
Move your body to the boom boom bass. Move your body to the boom boom bass. Yell them wind down, mash up the place.
So I liked that. It gave a nice little air and sheen to the high end. And we threw in the sausage right before OTT, giving it just like a little 1% boost and a -1 dB. So this was what it sounds like ultimately with all those plugins. The rest are just modulated and automated. Sorry, in the build-up and whatnot. So this is the processed vocal, the result.
Move your body to the boom boom bass. Yell them wind down, mash up the place. Move your boom boom butt, boom boom. Move your boom boom butt, boom.
So really cool. I really like that result. It was very unique. And to top things off, this is one bonus tip for you guys. If you guys have a struggle with like a track or a vocal cutting through the mix, but you also want to sidechain it, here I have it doing the extreme short, but what I've done is the value is only at like 69 or 70 or 59% or something, which the result means that it's sidechained, but not all the way. And many artists talk about this. It's sidechained, but not all the way, and this allows it to still kind of cut through, but still slightly get out of the way of the kick. So when you have that, it's sidechained, but not completely.
Move your body to the boom boom bass. Yell them wind down, mash up the place.
And that result is it kind of makes it bounce with the kick. Ultimately, when you play it with everything else, kind of gives it that little bounce. And I'm very happy with the result that I got with this, just through experimentation. And like I said, I could have denoised the vocal at the beginning. I didn't. You know, I also experimented putting a de-esser at the end of this chain, and I was like, I kind of like that crispness. So again, it's all subjective. This is not definitely a go-to always, this is the way you process vocals. This was just a very special and unique way that I approached it. I had a random inspiration. I led it step by step. We went the route of like a vocoding with the isotope vocal synth, and the result was pretty fat and juicy. So I just wanted to show you guys my thought process, the backstory, and that you can arrive to a destination through many different means. There's a whole array of ways you can arrive to a destination. And ultimately, when you combine all that,
move your body to the boom boom bass. Move your body to the boom boom bass. Yell them wind down, mash up the place. Move your body to the boom boom bass. Yell them wind down, mash up the place.
so I really wanted that like really cool ethnic vibe in it, different. I wanted to make something different. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video of just me showing that, you know, step-by-step breakdown of my approach, the philosophy into this. If you guys enjoyed this video, remember to smash that like button and make sure you guys are subscribed. Thank you for everyone who has subscribed and dropped a like and dropped a comment. Your guys' feedback and comments is critical and helps me create more content. And I know one of you guys also commented about processing vocals, so that's the next video for tomorrow. I'm going to talk about processing vocals, the cookie cutter, like, standard way, what I would do with the denoising, with the EQ, with the de-essing, how to make it wider. We'll talk about ad-libs. We'll talk about a lot of stuff in that video as well. So I'll see you guys very soon. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Take care.